Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Clockwork!
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Needs assassin.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining.
Ancient apparition.
Dire team pick.
Venomancer.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
No.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban.
Bristleback!
Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Takiro.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining.
Weaver.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Bloodseeker.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Ursa Warrior.
Radiant team pick.
Storm Spirit.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
At the time, the team with the better tower wins.
Well, if you think about it, especially in like the high level Dota, like all the teams that are, you know, getting to TI have done well there. Like they all have at least one or two guys of like a level 2000 tower, you know, because they have all that TI money. So, you know, perhaps it kind of, your tower level in a lot of cases, especially at higher MMR, does reflect like how successful of a player you are because you have the money to burn. Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah, you see a lot of like the Chinese players, the China stacks. They
maybe has like a level 2500 tower or something.
Yeah, I've seen like 15k compendiums.
Yeah.
Experience. You see that, and you're just like, well, we lost. That's it. Pack it in.
Those are the whales. That's who Valve is going for.
Oh, he's saving the word actually for his mid player. What a guy.
30 seconds.
I would not have done that. I totally would have.
I don't blame you.
FNG is just a bro, trying to help out his Storm player.
Yeah, he even gives people, you know, free hairstyling tips upon request. I feel like every interview I've seen with FNG, at some point the interviewer asks, like, what is your secret? Why is your hair so luscious?
If I wanted anyone's hair in Dota, it would definitely be FNG's.
Would you scalp him just to, you know...
No, I like FNG.
Slap that hair on your head?
I don't want to scalp him. I'm just like, if
I just want the hair.
Yeah, if I had the ability to just have his hair, I would have it. I wouldn't, like...
Kill him for it.
I wouldn't kill him for it.
Alright, well then, clearly you don't want the hair badly enough, Andy.
I mean,
I'm sorry, but you're not committed.
Badly enough to make a drug that can let me travel to the future.
I haven't gotten to see the one with you and Ted, but I heard it's good.
They aired it earlier.
Yeah, I have to. I saw that it had been released, but I will watch it after this game. I'm joining you guys. You know, I'm running pretty low as well.
We got to stick together.
Yeah, that's all. We only have each other because all the non-baldies, they don't treat us very well.
They just don't understand.
So, all right, let's talk a little Dota at least. I guess we have to. This is going to be the Bloodseeker mid for Nyx in the end. He's getting dual laned early here, though. FNG wants to give that Storm a good start. M19 did go full aggro try with the Veno, so incredibly annoying tri lane. Not particularly good at catching the Weaver, but man oh man can they make his life miserable anyway. And then that does leave their Bristle in the offlane, 1v1 against an Ursa. Probably one of the few heroes that can actually really do well against a Bristle as a melee hero.
Yeah, you just walk at him. Bristle can't do much. You're going to be out of mana because you want to spam quills to get your creep kills, and then LTW just buys a stick and says, okay, I'm going to be able to overpower you pretty much whenever, and just run at you and stack those Fury Swipes.
Iceberg did get pressured a little bit by Misha here, but we'll dodge away from that gank. I mean, the one annoying thing about Bloodseeker is his base damage is quite good, and then you've got the Blood Rage with the Quelling Blade. Like, it's pretty hard to last hit against him. At least at this stage of the
Yeah,
lane.
it is. It's very hard.
So,
Especially, a lot of it is dependent on how well the other lanes do. Like, if LTW can keep the Nyx and the Earth Bristleback at, like, lowish life.
Oh, they found the Ice Cream Cone. Vanscore in all kinds of trouble now. Galed up, slowed down. He ain't going anywhere. They will get that first blood. You cannot leave the tower if the clock works in the neighborhood, or you will be dying. So, quick first blood here from 19. I mean, on paper, it's a draft that really needs to have a good laning stage because they don't have great solutions for the Storm, or necessarily, well, mainly the Storm later on, but even the Weaver potentially. But they're off to a good start, Andy.
Yeah, keeping VZZ kind of low health too, just giving more benefit to Nyx in the mid lane. More levels he gets, the more he's going to be able to get from his Thirst.
You've got an Ursa versus Bristle matchup that's pretty favorable for them. The Storm is the one hero having a really good time, but they're also committing 2 to secure his early farm. So if they can win this bottom lane, and they're already winning the top lane just by nature of the matchup, then M19 called a successful ending stage for them.
We'll have to see what happens when the Bloodseeker hits 6. He wants to make like a super early transition into being able to get a kill. Because prior to having time lapse, and even honestly after you have time lapse, it can be...
The rupture still persists, right? You just get the health back?
No, you still take damage too. So what happens is you get the health back as if you normally time lapse, but then you take rupture damage based on where you were.
Based on where it moves you to.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's a really weird interaction.
And it's the state of rupture still persists on your hero.
Yes, can't get rid of it.
Yeah. Pretty annoying. Good argument for a Linken's, perhaps, if the game goes longer.
Yeah, it's a natural Linken's carrier anyway, so I don't think he'll be 2+ by having to buy it.
So no real pressure on the tower yet. It is early here for the Venom, only the 1 point in Plague Wards. But meanwhile, top lane, oh, Linken, you'll miss it. LTW going ham as the Ursa gets that solo kill on Bristle. Well, that feels good. So many games we play against the Bristle, and he just is unkillable. He's up in your face, but Ursa, one of the few that can take the fight and the pain to him.
I guess the one thing about M19's lineup is even though their lanes are super strong, they... Oh, he did. No, misses a stun. But yeah, their lineup is not really great at Siege. I mean, I guess they have the Veno, but the Veno's in a tri-lane. The one thing about that hero being in a 3v2 or a 3v3 is that you really do want the levels.
Yeah, and he's not going to get them bottom. Although, right as we say that, they have rotated the clock off the lane again, so I guess we'll do a bit better in that regard, but you're still not getting really any pulls bottom, so it's still a dual lane. As Misha sweeps in onto Iceberg, does have that battery assault. Iceberg could be in trouble here, tries to slow him down, but is going to get caged up on the high ground. Nyx, no, not able to follow this one up, getting zoned out by FNG, who even gets the carapace done. Now Iceberg wants to go back in on Nyx. The body blocks are there, just has to hit this impale. It's tough to do though. Good jukes by Nyx, out Nyxing the Nyx down the stretch, and FNG now has to back away.
I think he could have gone for that kill. He had stick charges. Could have walked in there, bopped him a few times, get more damage from the Thirst, and just get the kill.
You mean on the Storm when he went onto the high ground?
No, I mean on the Nyx.
Okay.
Because the Nyx had no mana. He couldn't have even carapaced at that point after he threw out the stun, but I guess it's just better to play safe than potentially give away a kill. Man, Iceberg is actually owning. I mean, sure, he had a support in his lane for a little while, but Bloodseeker did as well. The support came mid, started hitting people, Misha applied a little bit of harass. But this Storm is getting an awful lot.
In a really good Storm game, I mean, there's nothing to deal with him.
Yeah, Rupture is not really that good.
There's no setup for Blood Rite unless they, I don't know, get a Yules or something.
Yeah. You can make him use his mana if you Rupture him, that's the one thing. Because you can, like, Ball Lightning, obviously, instead of walking, but you do waste a huge chunk of your mana pool. It's more of a nuisance for Storm than I think an actual problem.
Alright, well let's see how the teams transition here as the lane stage continues. Ursa grabbing his phase boots. Keep checking out the Bristleback stack situation. Does have a double stack at one ancient camp, none at the other. CPZZ for now. Struggling a bit in the farm department, but you know, when you see the Veno pick, it's often like, alright, he's just gonna really pressure the tower early. So far, hasn't managed to do that too much. Mostly just kind of being annoying here with these side pulls because of his catapult wave now. But Team Spirit able to hold that tower healthy, and now wrapping around, looking for the Funnick flank, but FNG whiffs the stun again. He has struggled to connect on those today. Now he's going to have to TP out. Just one Gale, and he's gone. That is going to free things up for Misha. Gets onto Vangscore. Better Assault prepped up. Rupture comes through. They bring in Nyx, and that is a very dead Ancient Apparition. One swing of the claws, and down he'll go. In good news, well, it is your 5 position support, but still early pressure now from M19. They do have 2 points in Liquid Fire. They want this tier 1, and I do not see Team Spirit defending this.
Yeah, level 3 Plague Wards. It's gonna take a while, but I think they actually just killed this tower. In the meantime, though, it does take a while, and Iceberg's gonna be able to pressure the tier 1 mid, so I don't think that even if they do ultimately kill a tower, that it's gonna be a huge deal for Spirit, because they're gonna be getting a huge amount on mid.
Now they want Nyx. FNG looking for him, but the real Nyx going in as this Bloodseeker. Good zoning tactics by him. Meanwhile, Storm cutting the wave in the mid lane, but LTW there to reduce that pressure. And it looks like this tier 1 is going to drop. Last hit to the Bloodseeker. No, actually the Funnick. So he now has 600 gold to work with. Already has the Aquila, the wand, so we'll see what the Veno's build is this game. I mean, Andy, there's been like a few different styles of Veno. There's been more of like that physical DPS. We've also seen the caster Veno. Those are probably the 2 main ones, with the early Veil pickup or potentially the Hurricane Pike as an alternative. Is there a particular Veno like itemization you prefer this game?
I think Pike is core, just because the attack range is nice. You do eventually get the 75 damage talent, so you benefit from the attack range. The on-use is also very good this game, because there's not really that many disables, so like a Vortex or an Impale, you can force your teammates out. I think that's a really strong choice. Veil is also classic.
They do Rupture FNG here in mid. Getting a few auto attacks off, but threat of the Carapace stunning you under tower, not something you want to mess with, especially with that Storm off the map. As Iceberg sweeps in on the bottom lane, he wants a piece of Funnick. They get the Swarm on him, balling forward. Does not have a point in the Electric Vortex, but he's got the damage. Gets the Funnick kill. They can chase on the Muriel here. I don't know if the Storm has quite enough mana to go for that kill, especially not uphill into a Shrine. BZZ is scouting him though. Muriel's moved past the Shrine, and they are going to commit forward. Big Ball Lightning lands there with the Follow-Up Remnant. He needs 2 more auto attacks to get this kill, and he will do so. The Blood Right. Oh, maybe going to punish him on the way out. Turn, stands his ground, gets a good bit of damage onto the Clockwork. Hasn't finished Misha off though, stays alive. They lose their Storm for this. Only getting the Twin Head there at the end. That does not seem worth it at all. Maybe if BZZ can find the next kill. As the time lapse still. Walking into the Blood Right, juking out of it. Will end up surviving. Unfortunate death on the Storm though. I guess in the end it is a 2-for-1 there, but still, could have been a 1-for-0.
Yeah, I think, you know, when you have that kind of situation where you're getting the bonus skill, it's very easy to kind of develop the tunnel vision and say, okay, I can definitely get this. But nice reaction from M19. They kind of gave him the pincer, collapsing from not only the Shrine, but the tier 1.
They're going to set up on this mid lane. Big jump forward onto the clock. Instantly taken down. Can't miss that Impale. FNG making the plays. Now the point booster ready for Iceberg if he wants to snap it up from the shop. And all the while, Bristleback is getting a little me time. He's grabbed the Vitality booster. They now have, I believe, a quad stack for him to farm. So it's a Bristle who's going to catch up nicely. It's a Storm who's getting out of control. Things are looking up for Team Spirit as this ending stage tips towards the tail end. FNG trying to TP out, but a good Ice Path prevents it. M19 do strike back in the mid lane. They'll get a kill there on the Twin Head. But still, they're not killing the Weaver. They're definitely not killing the Storm unless he wants to go on them.
And they're ignoring the Bristle. Yeah. Like they just say, okay, Phobos, you got a Vanguard. We're not even going to go to that lane. We're going to let you free farm. Yeah, it's a bit concerning if you're an M19 fan, to say the least.
Big jump in by Iceberg, and manages to juke away from the majority of Nyx's damage. Now he balls in one more time. He's out of mana. He has the regen rune bottled up, and this is space created as the Roshan has been tempting Cold Feet there, though. Is going to lock the Ursa in position, bringing him pretty low, and Storm's starting to go in with that regen rune. He can make a huge committed jump here. Will he get there in time? They want to get out. LTW, he's afraid. And as well, he should be. Is the Roche low enough for a snatch to be attempted here? Team Spirit might just walk in with the Bristle. I think they can threaten for this. They also have the Swarm. It's dangerous in the pit. You got to worry about the Poison Nova. Team Spirit respecting the AoE teamfight of M19. A tense moment for both squads. You lose a Roshan and you give it away to Team Spirit, and suddenly it is entirely their game with the better late game, and already difficult to deal with Storm. He'll be close to a Bloodstone and virtually impossible at that point. So they do play it safe here. They're going to pressure the lanes instead. Ideally, you'd love to take down the tower mid or top before you go for the Roche. Try to limit this map control Spirit if possible.
Yeah, and even more to your point about the Roshan, it's an Ursa lineup. So if the Ursa is not getting Roshan, that feels super bad because he's not naturally a good objective hitter. He's more of, I kill the heroes, and then after I kill the heroes, I get the building. And a lot of the time when you do that, you have to dive.
And you're probably going to die, and you really want to be the meat shield for your team, but if you don't have the Aegis, it's quite scary to do that.
It's very, very tricky. I think M19 actually dodged a bullet there.
It's a pretty risky Roche to go for when the tier 1 is up top and mid and the Shrine's still online. But this tower top will be denied. Well done with the Plague Ward. Funnick. Still though, tower down for Team Spirit. They'll be happy about the map control they've gained there. Now they're going to go for their Ancients, which also means they'll be near the Roche pit. Maybe not yet. Funnick. Sorry, Phobo's thinking about it. Gonna find the right time. Does have to be careful against the Bloodseeker. Not to get too low here. But it's all about this Roshan dance now. There's an illusion in the pit. The Plague Wards get planted down. 19 are going to go for it again. They can set up with the Veno around the pit before they commit too hard. That's going to make it much more difficult to engage. These bashes, though, are making LTW a sad, sad bear.
Dude, there's no way they can do it. Like, the AA has 6. He throws an Ice Blast in the pit and the Ursa gets a little bit low, he's just dead.
And there's basically no control for Iceberg, so he can just jump in there when the Roche is low and probably snatch the Aegis, if not get multiple kills out of it. Funnick moves in, has the Poison Novas, just flops it on Phobos. Not sure about that. Now it won't be available for the impending Roche fight. This shows the desperation of M19 to grab this Roche. Funnick trying to keep the vision here. With these Plague Wards, discourage the Ursa from moving in, but the Ice Blast comes through. LTW in a lot of danger as the Storm balls into position. He's low, likely to fall. The Ice Path is there, but one more Remnant is going to bring him down. The Roche almost falling now. They get the bash on Funnick. Roshan, apparently a secret operative for the squad of Team Spirit as the Aegis hits the deck. Nyx will get the last hit. The Roche kill also going the way of M19, and they get the kill in the Storm. Oh, salvage perhaps, where they've lost 3, make it 4. Not ideal. Round 2, also going to be painful for Nyx. Bloodright gets dropped, but 3 are on his heels. The Carapace comes through, and that means the Bloodseeker down as well. That's 5 deaths, including the Aegis. All of that just for a Storm. They got the Roche. Gold, but not worth.
Yeah, that was a disaster. I didn't really think that they were going to try to go for it because they always have the Vortex in the pit. They have vision all the time, Team Spirit, and as soon as they see that the Ursa's getting a little bit low, they do the Ice Blast, the Storm commits, and the Ursa just dies. Like, he has to pop his ult to make sure that he can deal the damage to Roche fast enough to get the kill and to stop the damage from the Ice Blast, but... yeah,
they really forced it there, Andy.
I think they're, like I said, I think they're feeling a little bit nervous. Like, they needed to get that objective in order to reach their win condition, but... I mean, getting the Roche and getting the Aegis is the only silver lining.
Oh, FNG is on the move now. He's got an opportunity here, setting up Nyx and Funnick, fairly tanky. But Misha rather, a bit easier to take down. Storm is even moving into position. Iceberg very close to that Bloodstone, and it's going to make his move now, balling forward, but the hook's there to counter-initiate. Doesn't seem to matter. All the pushback, beautifully done. Still one more Remnant forward, or rather, Ball Lightning forward, and they do get the kill on Nyx. Now the follow-up, BZZ deploying the Swarm, looking for Misha as well. He's going to dive towards the base. Big commitment here from the Weaver. Is he going to get this clock kill? No, not with the Shrine. Time lapse is out. See you later. Now FNG on the run has the Carapace, activates it a bit prematurely, so LTW can just time it out, get the clap off, get the kill. Still though, Storm will survive. That is now Bloodstone time. 700 gold in the bank. Storm is up about 2,000 gold at 15 minutes. He is all of their advantage and then some. And this is a Storm game, so life is quite rough for M19 now.
Yeah, the sad thing for M19 right now is the fact that the Veno is so poor. Like, he's only got Veil right now. I mean, Veil is a great item on Veno, no questions, but when you have a tri-lane, you kind of want your Veno to be, you know, sitting atop of the net worth, not, like, contesting middle of the pack with your other heroes and then the cores of the team that you tri-lane against as well.
So, what do you do now if you're M19? Like, you tried to force the Roche, it didn't work out. Storm is pretty out of control. I'm looking for more. Hold that thought as we'll isolate Misha. Go splat. But yeah, like, how do you salvage this game, Andy?
Maybe wait for the Bloodseeker to get BKB. I still think that, you know, prior to BZZ having Lincolns, which he's rushing the Diffusal right now, there's going to be a really good window to where you can punish that hero in particular. And if you have BKB, then you can run down the Nyx, you can run down the AA. Bristle and Storm are always going to be a problem, but to some degree their lineup, it really did need to do a lot better in the lanes, and it really needed to get the first Roche. That was like 2 criteria that were very, very important for them to meet that they just haven't. So it's, as you've already said, it is definitely a rough game right now.
And nobody's really farming that well. The Bloodseeker did go for Midas, but even so, he's nowhere near the Storm in terms of net worth. The Bristleback is pulled ahead on the back of those Ancient stacks.
Bottom again.
They are looking for more. Iceberg in position here, bottom. The Ursa does force him on his heels, will just ball away. He can apply this kind of pressure whenever he chooses. FNG is there in position as LTW chases forward. They're going to plop down a sentry. Iceberg does get hooked, but he balls his way out of it as Misha was connecting on the hook. Manages to dodge out of an Ice Pad too. The Ice Blast comes over the top, debuffing Misha, so they have the damage to bring him down. Phobos turns his back and the Quill stack up. Quill after Quill after Quill. They just need a little more damage here from Iceberg to get the Nyx kill, to get the LTW kill. He hasn't gotten any of them yet. Oh, this could be bad for the Storm. He opts for the TP out in the end. FNG wants Nyx so bad. He got the Urn on him, but I'm not sure it's enough to kill him off. He manages to tap that Shrine. He will survive. Somehow FNG fails to get the kill, and now Funnick will be brought down with BZZ coming in for the late flank, but they got the Bristle. They got the Nyx. Not too shabby for M19 in the end.
That could have been a disaster, though. Like, if that hero dies, like the Bloodseeker, Iceberg kind of hesitated on his last ball lightning. He just assumed that the Overload plus the auto was going to be able to get the kill. So then he realizes after the fact that it didn't actually kill Nyx, and he balls again in the greedy sense to try to find him and get that one extra hit off to make sure that he dies and he gets a Bloodstone charge. But as soon as that happens, he gets an Ice Path to the face, and he's standing right next to an Ursa. So at that point he decides, okay, time to leave. And I guess, you know, Iceberg not dying is also a good thing. He still is sitting highest in the net worth by a pretty wide margin at this point.
In fact, all 3 of their cores are ahead of the M19 cores.
Yeah.
The only hero who's behind on Spirit is the Ancient Apparition. But he's got his level 6, you know, he doesn't really need to take over for them to win this game.
It's also kind of difficult for the AA to just sit in side lanes against Clockwork and Ursa with a Blink and a Bloodseeker. You're just going to be forced to like TP back to base all the time, or you're just going to die. So he's just like sitting behind his team waiting for opportunities.
Are really trying to force it here. They get the Rupture off on Phobos, but he turns his back. He's just so damn tanky that he just keeps on walking through this Rupture. Yeah, right, Nyx, he says, and now gets the stun. Good initiation. Ice Blast coming through the pole. Ice Blast will connect, and now Iceberg should be able to net a kill here on Nyx. Goes for the TP out. No, maybe not. We'll TP away. Makes it home. Probably survives through this Ice Blast, but it'll be very low. The Ursa not so lucky, though. He's been brought down. That's 2 more Bloodstone charges, up to 16 on the Storm. Almost a charge per minute.
Yeah, it's looking more and more difficult as time goes on for M19. I think the Bloodseeker in the laning phase, just having that additional pressure by having the Nyx Assassin sit mid was really good because it allowed Iceberg to get ahead and stay ahead. And the first rotation by the Bloodseeker, he hits his bottom, he only gets a support. So we haven't really seen like the effectiveness of the Bloodseeker against the early game of Team Spirit.
Cogs end up being a little coffin that Misha's built for himself, and he will pay. Gets brought down. Phobos standing in the middle of this entire fight, just getting quills off all over Muriel, and still the Storm getting more and more Bloodstone charges as the time goes on. Now Funnick forced back. They've gotten 3 kills. He does get galed, but hey, that's what Ball Lightning is for. At the same time, he's balled directly into the Ursa. He could be in danger here. Iceberg may have to Bloodstone deny. Yeah, he knows Seppuku, the only way out of this one. But an instant respawn for him. He's back in the action. Still killing the Storm is a desperately needed turn of positive fortune for M19.
Yeah, the Bloodstone charges getting eaten down is massive. Deny or not. Like, sure, you would like to kill, but the mana regeneration on the Bloodstone is what enables Storm to be Storm.
That's for me.
And now they're going to have to wait for another episode.
Oh, that sentry that was planted earlier. Very well placed as FNG could be in danger here, but he gets off the Carapace. Oh, Kale, not going to hit him, actually. He's so low that the Bloodseeker does have vision, though. And with that, reinforcements arriving. Phobos locking on to Muriel, charging into 4 heroes. The great setup. The Ice Blast comes through. They go pop. Quick double kill. Team Spirit looking for more. They could threaten to dive this tower. And that is pretty scary when you commit so much to a Nyx who's entirely on his own, but Spirit, their ability to close the gap is unparalleled.
Yeah, it was a really nice play from Iceberg there. He balls in, sees that the Ice Blast is coming, knows that it's going to kill the Jakiro regardless of whether or not he uses the Vortex, so instead, even though he was previously attacking him, switches targets, pulls the other hero in, ensures that the Ice Blast hits on both, gets both kills. Credit for that to the Bloodstone. They've just been playing a really solid Dota game. You can't say that M19 haven't played that well, it's just their heroes have very kind of harsh limitations. Until the Bloodseeker gets BKB, walking into the middle of the teamfight is really hard. We saw how ineffective Rupture can be against Bristle. He just walked away. Like, he just said, eh, whatever. Bristle back
He
works.
basically took, like, the entire Rupture duration just running and was fine.
I think you kind of have to Rupture the Weaver every fight. Like, that's the only hero who really suffers from it. We did see them take down BZZ in the middle lane fight previously. Because even with the use of the time-lapse, he still got hit by Blood Ray, still really couldn't move anywhere, sat in the Macropyre, and eventually just kind of melted down. But
So M19 are stacking up the Midases now. They grabbed another one on the Veno, and then he's going to transition into this Aghanims build, but seems like they have kind of made the call as a team. We cannot win now. We cannot deal with Spirit in the mid-game. We're going to have to head towards the late game to even have a chance, but I kind of feel like that plays into Spirit's hands at the same time.
it definitely does. The late game Storm is always a monster. Just
Speaking
going
of
up
which,
next year.
Big Ball Lightning forward. Does find the opening here and locking down Nyx. The hook comes through. Does not get up the Poison Nova though. So Iceberg collecting more Bloodstone charges. He's pretty low on the mana department. He keeps on diving forward. He's up to 16. One little additional ball out will end up surviving. Meanwhile, BZZ punishing the bear. This pesky bug just won't get off his back. He's in all kinds of trouble now. Hounded. He does manage to enrage off that Diffusal Blade. Well timed there, and the cooldown prevents the follow-up. The old Diffusal Blade, well, maybe just purge him again and get the kill anyway, but
I mean, still, it's showcasing the issue that their cores have. Like, the Bloodseeker is not a good matchup against Bristle. The Ursa is not a good matchup against the Weaver or the Storm.
Dire's middle tower.
So they're relying heavily on the supports to be able to, you know, get the Ursa in range, to be able to hit targets. You Rupture them so that the Ursa can hit a target. It just doesn't really seem to be...
And a support like Jakira Clockwork can do nothing against Storm, can do very little against Weaver. So you're relying on supports that just aren't that good at it either.
Yeah, it's not optimal, to say the least. Their lineup just needed to do a lot more at a very early stage in the game. So execution-wise, and during the draft we talked about, Team Spirit is a lot easier to play with their heroes. And that's kind of, I think, what's being reflected here.
Yeah, obviously you can look at the way M19 have approached this game. Like, they didn't have to force that Roche the way they did. That definitely tipped the game heavily in Team Spirit's favor, but you mentioned feeling the pressure in this game. I think also maybe feeling the pressure in the qualifier as a whole. They're down 0-1. They're on the ropes to get knocked out and fall just short of TI. And the struggle continues as FNG jukes away from this hook. They blow a lot just to get that kill. BKB committed early in the fight by Nyx. And now Storm looks to go in. Diving deep onto the Ursa. Can they kill him off? Easy grab. The Ice Path not solidifying in time. Iceberg jukes out of that too. Also going down to Nyx. Storm balling out of control. 18 Bloodstone charges. About to be 19. Muriel's next on the list. Maybe they can even go for Funnick too. It will end there. Up to 19. Well, if he hadn't died that one time earlier, he'd be at like 25 now. Storm absolutely out of control, and they have not even grabbed him this Aegis, but that is next on the agenda for a streaking Team Spirit.
And just in case anybody was wondering, Storm is like the best Aegis carrier in Dota. It's not even close, actually, how good he is at holding that item. Just because of how mobile he is, having mana on Storm is also like having a second life bar because you just have so much mobility with Ball Lightning. This is cheese and Aegis, by the way. We saw the earlier team fight where M19 got the... Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Iceberg.
yeah. Iceberg. He's going deep. This man does not know the word back, but he might get punished for it. Oh. Able to ball out the hooks there. That does kill off the Aegis. Remember, he still has cheese, though. He still has the second life. A little cocky. And he's quite sad about that one.
He did get bashed, so I kind of understand the chat wheel there. Very nice play, though, from Misha to take him down.
Still, like, it takes him playing that cocky to kill him. You know, if he's playing defensively,
yeah,
well, good luck.
He's been playing pretty defensively in fights with how he uses his ball lightning, which I think is good. Because he knows as long as he doesn't die, like, they're gonna win the fights. Like, Phobos is pretty big in regards to overall farm. He's actually second highest in the game. It's just that when you compare it to Iceberg, it's still like 2,500 above anyone else.
Storm's jumping in again. Finds the twin head on the side of the fight. Locking him down with the Orchid. He almost finishes him off, jukes away. That's auto attack looking at the kill. And all the while, Ursa is just running. He's not hitting anyone. It feels like for the last 3-4 fights, he shrines up. Iceberg just kites him. He does get bashed, though. He'll need one more of those if he wants to kill. The cold feet are there. Not going to matter. M19 gets slaughtered. While that was happening, the other 3 heroes got cleaned up in the back lines. And celebratory ball towards the fountain, but like you said, Andy, M19, they needed basically flawless execution to take this one, and it was, well, anything but in this game, too.
Yeah, the first Roche really kind of shot them in the foot. Like, they went in, they committed super hard against the AA, who had a perfect timing on his level 6 to prevent them from just being able to walk into the pit and take it.